Hey everybody, welcome back to Epic Beauty Fail. I'm Jessica, and today's video we're going to be doing another Foundation Friday. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button if you like this video while you're watching it, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I do Foundation Friday every single Friday, as well as a lot of other beauty related content. Beauty boxes, haul videos every once in a while. I'm doing a whole declutter series right now, so if you like beauty related content, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any comments, leave those in the comment section down below as well. I do appreciate anything you guys are willing to do to help support my channel. And also, I have my own online clothing boutique. It is niminis.com. The link is in the description bar down below if you're curious. If not, that's okay too. So today's foundation is the Ofra Absolute Cover Foundation. I do have it in the shade 0.5, and I think I picked this up at Ulta, maybe? Ulta? Sephora? One of those two. Is Ofra sold in Sephora? I don't remember. I think I picked it up at Ulta. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead to the Ofra Cosmetics website and read to you about the Absolute Cover Foundation, and this is in the 0.5 shade. It says, get absolutely covered in this long wear matte foundation made with skin-loving ingredients. Go from, okay, so for this shade, it specifically says it's a light shade with a pink undertone. Go from part-time to full-time status in this long-lasting oil-free foundation that leaves skin flawless and doesn't budge until cleansed off. Your face will stay perfectly matte all day with this buildable medium to full coverage formula made with 50 ingredients, including silk peptides and skin-loving antioxidants. This foundation keeps your face protected from irritating outside pollutants that age your skin. Looking for that radiant glow? Mix in a pump of our RCK, I don't know what that is, into your foundation. Ofra tip, use their brush or their puff to apply to the skin. And yeah, that's what we're looking at here. And then I get something that pops up and says you want to save some money. So it says it's mattifying, buildable, nourishing, and vegan. Now, I am filming this a few weeks before you see it. I am filming it in March, but you're not going to be seeing it until a little bit later in the month. It's not super cold here yet. I'm in Pennsylvania, and March is definitely in Pennsylvania one of those times. If you've ever heard "in like a lion, out like a lamb," we definitely have that. Today it's sunny, and I don't know what temperature is supposed to be, but it is sunny outside today. I think tomorrow it's supposed to snow. So there's that, and it was 60 degrees 2 days ago. So that is March in Pennsylvania. So before I turned on the camera, I did use the Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist to spray my face down. I also used the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer to prime my face. Don't look at my hair. I don't know what's going on with like this hair right here. My hair, unless I purposely style it, which I don't often do, it just kind of does whatever it wants. So, and I have naturally curly hair, so it really does whatever it wants. It's not like people who have nice, pretty, straight hair and it just looks the same all the time. My hair does not look the same at the beginning of the day as the end of the day. Let alone day after day, like 2 days in a row. It doesn't even look the same from the beginning to the end of the day. So, there's that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get maybe some of this. Oh, it does have a little arrow that says turn the lid. The pump is very stiff. All right, so that is definitely pale. I think that's probably going to actually work. I'm going to use the Cosmetics Loves the Foundation brush on the right side of my face, and then I do have this sponge on for this side of the face. I think that's a Real Technique sponge. So it has been a couple minutes since I put my primer on. Oh yeah, I think that's going to work perfectly. We're going to go ahead and get this in on my skin. I'm going to try not to put too much on because I have found with my older skin, I am just about to turn 41 years old. So I'm not, old, but older. I'm not 20 years old anymore. If I put too much foundation on, I do have a tendency to get a lot of lines and creasing on my skin. So I'm just going to build it up a little bit here on my nose and on my cheek because I do have a lot of natural redness there. And I'm going to put a little bit extra on my chin where I have some residual discoloration from acne. But that blended in really quick, really easily. I'm going to probably have to put a little bit of concealer there on my chin. I think that looks really pretty. Right now, initial application, It doesn't even look like I'm wearing foundation. Like, it looks like it just balanced my skin tone out, and I am actually really enjoying that, really liking that a lot. So I'm hoping this might actually turn out really nice, but we will see. All right, so I did have to use a little bit more with the sponge because the sponge did soak up some of it, but right now, initial application, I am liking this. I think the shade works really well. It is starting to crack a little bit on my chin, which doesn't make me super happy, but we'll keep a look at that. And it looks like it is starting to oxidize a little bit. I don't know if you guys can tell that, but it does look like it's starting to oxidize a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to discreetly grab a tissue off to the side, and that was not very discreet. Okay, so it does appear to be oxidizing just slightly on my skin, so I'm going to keep an eye on that for when I come back. But it is, I mean, it was originally very similar to my neck color, and now I feel like it's getting very pink. So, okay, the time now is 7:59. We're going to call 8 o'clock the check-in time, so I will check in at 12 and then again at 4 o'clock. I do usually do 8-hour wear tests. So this actually is dried down pretty well. I don't know that I'm going to powder this. We'll see. All right, I'm going to go ahead, put on the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back. All right, you guys, I'm back. It is 8:20. I have my phone actually plugged in because it's almost dead. So it is 8:20. It took me about 20 minutes to put my makeup on. Let's go through what I have on my face. So I do feel like this foundation did oxidize. You can see my face looks more pink orange than my neck does. Now, some of that might be because I used more orangey makeup today, which might be turning my face to look a little bit more orange. I'm not sure, but it's really, like, I can really tell on my chin, and I don't have any makeup on my chin other than the foundation. So, yeah, this definitely oxidized. So there's that. Anyway, I did use my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind on my under eyes and then a little bit here on my chin where I still have some of that redness. I did lightly powder, just lightly powder with my powders. These are both from Physicians Formula. This is the Mineral Correcting Powder. This is the Mineral Face Powder. Primarily, I put the correcting powder just to set my concealer on my under eyes right here on my chin, and then I just barely tapped into them and just put a little bit on my face. I did not use a lot. Let's leave it at that. All right, on my face, I used my Marc Jacobs Tantastic Omega Bronzer. Just a little bit on my cheeks, a little bit down here along my neckline, chin line, and then just a tap on my forehead. And then the orangeness of this, maybe it's not coming across on the screen, but I'm looking at it in my mirror and it's quite alarming how different it looks now than it did 20 minutes ago. I'm using my Ofra blush in Sweet Stuff. This was a Madison Miller collaboration, as was the highlighter that I'm using, which is the highlighter in Moondance. Again, Madison Miller collaboration. I got them in my Ipsy, so I tried, when I do my foundation reviews, I try to use as much makeup from that brand as I can. That might be weird, but it's just something I do. Okay, in my brows, I have the ABH Brow Definer in Blonde. I did spray my face down with MAC Fix Plus. My lashes have Benefit Roller Lash on them. I used the Painterly Paint Pot as a eye primer. I actually dug out these two eyeshadow palettes. I bought them just as they were, like, getting rid of them from Ulta, because this is the old packaging. Ofra revamped their packaging, and I didn't buy these that long ago. I bought them end of summer 2019, so it wasn't that long ago that I bought them. I actually bought them as giveaway gifts to you all, but when I got them, the palettes are a little uneven, or the pans are a little uneven. They're very, very powdery when I open them up. But when I buy palettes for you guys for giveaways, I always check the palettes to make sure that none of them are broken, because I will return them if they're broken. But these were very, very powdery, very messy, and I was like, I'm not gonna give these to somebody with them looking like that. So I kept them for myself. I did use both palettes today. In this one here, which is the Exquisite Eyes palette, I mostly used this one. I used this shade all over the lid, this in the crease, this in the outer corner, and on my under eye. These two are on my under eye. And then from this palette, which is the Radiant Eyes palette, I used this shade all over the lid, which is one of the really uneven pans. Like, it's actually, the eyeshadow is actually higher than the pan. And then I use this shade just in the inner corner. So I don't know. Like I said, I think they were just trying to get rid of them. They are the old packaging. It's fine. They're still eyeshadows. They still work. And then on my lips, I have two products. I have this long-lasting liquid lipstick in San Paulo. I got that in a beauty box somewhere. And then I have this lip gloss in Smiley for Riley. This as well was part of the Madison Miller collection. So that is everything that is on my face. I'm going to zoom you in and we can talk about the foundation. All right. So the shade aside, because it did absolutely oxidize on my skin. My chin is a mess. Now, if you're new to my channel, the area around my mouth is my worst skin area on my face. My skin often on my chin will crack because I am 41 years old and I have a lot of acne scarring on my chin area. For some reason to this day, I don't have it really badly right now, but I often get acne around my mouth area and I don't know why. I haven't been able to figure that out. But even as an adult, I still get a lot of acne around my mouth, around my chin, primarily my chin. I don't really get a lot of acne anywhere else, but around my chin I do. I have a lot of scarring on my cheeks from when I was in high school, but primarily around my chin is when I still get acne. So my chin's pretty cracked up. I will try to make sure I show you that at midday check-in. Other than my chin though, I think this looks really pretty. I think it looks really pretty. I don't know how well the camera is picking up how pretty it looks. My nose looks flawless. My forehead, even though I have that one major line down the center of my forehead, it's not settling into that line at all. I think it looks really pretty on my cheeks. The only area that I'm having an issue with is on my chin, where I have older skin that is definitely blemished and not the best. But other than that, I think this looks really, really pretty. I think the finish is pretty. I think the shade is kind of orange, but I think that the way it's sitting on my skin is really, really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead, obviously keep this on for the next 8 hours unless something dramatically changes. So that's where we're at, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes in. It is 8:30, just about is 8:28. So I've had it on for about a half an hour. The biggest issue that I'm having is the shade and my hair, but that's not part of my makeup. So this is the lightest shade. So there's that. I'm really having an issue with the chin. I'm really having an issue with the chin. I will make sure to show you that at lunchtime. So, or midday. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead about my day. I am working from home today, so I'm about to move 4 feet that way to my other desk and start working. And I will see you all at about noon today. All right, you guys, I'm a little bit late. Well, maybe a little bit more than a little bit late. It is 1 o'clock, so I'm about an hour late for my midday check-in. I've had this on for 5 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and show you in the window, obviously, close up what this foundation looks like. And I will talk to you about what I think about it here in just a second. So I was just on a conference call, which is why I'm late checking in. But I was looking in the mirror while I was on the conference call because, you know, why not? Number one, it definitely oxidized on me. I haven't had a foundation oxidize on me in a while. So that's kind of weird. I'm not quite sure why it oxidized, but that's fine. And I'm using the same primer, everything that I normally use. So I'm not quite sure 100% why it oxidized. That's fine. But I was looking in the mirror. I do have my mirror right here. I was looking in the mirror before I turned on the camera, and I will say that as long as I'm just like talking, I think it looks okay. You can, I'm gonna put the mirror down because I've already looked into it. You can still see I think when I'm just resting right in here, you can see that it definitely looks cracked on my chin. I think that is picking up all the little cracks. But the finish of it is nice, I think. But then like you look in here where I have a lot of acne scarring, and you can see that it, like if I stretch the skin, it kind of webs out. I'm not going to be doing that often, you know what I mean? But it does happen every once in a while. But primarily it's just on my chin area along here that I'm having issues with. You know, if you take my chin out of the equation, I think this looks really pretty still. Like, I think my forehead, it looks pretty. I think it looks nice on my nose. I think it looks nice on my cheeks. It's just really in the areas where I have, you know, old scarring and stuff. And again, I'm 41 almost. Can you guys tell? Literally this is gonna post like the week before my birthday, so it's kind of weighing on my head. My birthday's on Sunday, and I think this is posting the Friday before my birthday, so I'm filming it a couple weeks in advance. But yeah, my birthday's weighing a little bit on my mind. Not that I'm upset about turning 41, but nonetheless, I'm turning 41. So I think it's pretty. I do think it's pretty 5 hours in. I just am having a little bit of issue, and on my chin it's starting to feel a little bit itchy. Not terribly, I haven't itched it yet, but it does have a little bit of like tingling in certain spots where I feel itchy, but that could just be my skin itching. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's where we're at halfway through the day. I will see you guys in another like 3 hours or so. All right, everybody, I am back. It is a little bit late, 4:23. So I was looking in the mirror before I turned the camera on, and I don't think it has changed too much throughout the day. I'm definitely looking dewier. I feel like I've got a hair stuck on my face somewhere. So I'm definitely feeling like it looks dewier. Sorry. Because I feel like I've got a hair stuck to my face, my cheek is now suddenly itchy. There it is. One of the hazards of having blonde hair. Anyway, you can't see it. Anyhow, I really do think this looks pretty for the most part on my face. I do definitely look, like I said, dewier. I must have wiped it off around my mouth just a little bit at lunchtime. I was having a salad with like an oil and vinegar based Italian dressing. So I definitely did wipe, you know, a little bit off around my lips, but not tremendously. Overall, I think this looks actually really, really nice still. I do. My chin, of course, is still cracked up. I don't know if this camera is able to pick it up. This camera is actually a nicer camera than the other one, but the zoom on this doesn't go as close. Yeah, it's definitely still cracked on my chin. So if there's one area of my face that I can look at in the mirror, even like a foot away, and be like, oh, I'm not really liking the way that looks, it's definitely my chin. I'm definitely not loving the color. The oxidation is definitely something as well. But if we're just talking finish, if we're just talking the way it looks, I definitely would say that it's very, very pretty. 8 hours in or 8.5 hours in, it's definitely looking dewy on my skin. Not oily, but definitely dewy. But my chin is kind of messy. But that's most foundations anymore. So overall, I actually really like this. This, like I said, it's the Ofra Absolute Cover Foundation, full coverage foundation made with silk peptides. I did have to build this up. I did have to build it up. I did not, however, have to put concealer on my nose, and that has been pretty consistently recently here. I have had to been putting a little bit of concealer on my nose almost with every foundation review I've been doing recently. If you go back and look at them, I will say, you know, I put it on my under eyes, on my nose, on my chin, that sort of thing. I did not have to do that with this. And you can tell, I think you can see how much of a change the color has. Now the actual color in the bottle is very close to my natural skin tone, but if you hold it up against like my face, you can see how much difference it did change. I'm gonna hold it up against my forehead because I don't have any other makeup on my forehead or on my chin too. But anyway, overall, I think it's pretty. If you can find a shade that works for you, I would say it's worth giving a try. I actually do really enjoy it the way it looks. If you're really oily skinned, this probably isn't for you. My skin right now, because we're transitioning into spring, is not dry anymore. It gets really dry in the winter. My hands are still really dry, but my face is not dry anymore because we are starting to get further into the springtime. And it's not oily at the moment either because it's still springtime. So, yeah, overall, I kind of like this. I kind of do. Not loving the way it's looking on my chin at all, but on the rest of my face, I think it looks pretty. So that's going to be it for today's foundation review. I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up down below. If you haven't already, please hit that red subscribe button and the little bell. And if you have any comments, leave those in the comment section down below. Have you tried the Ofra Absolute Cover Foundation? If so, let me know what you think of it. Does it work on your skin? Are there any other foundations you want me to give a try? Let me know that as well. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on the next Epic Beauty Fail. Bye, guys.